Good morning to everyone present here. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate a momentous occasion, Indian Independence Day. This day marks the 79th anniversary of our country's freedom from colonial rule. It's a day of pride, reflection, and gratitude. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India shall awaken to freedom. With these golden words of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, India claimed her rightful independence on 15th of August 1947 after almost 200 years of British Raj. Let's celebrate the 79th Independence Day with immense pride and deep love for our wonderful nation. Our chief guest for today's function is Colonel Prakash Chandra. As we start this program, let's take a moment to acknowledge the presence of the Divine and to seek His blessings upon all, followed by singing our national song, Vande Mataram.
Glorious.
Indians, for the giver and the receiver alike. We wish to acknowledge the presence of everyone here. Leah Juana Kalkara of Class 8 will now welcome the gathering. Esteemed Director, Professor Matthew C. Nayak, distinguished Chief Guest, Colonel Prakash Chandra, beloved Deputy Director, Mrs. Lali A. Matthew, respected Principal, Dr. John Thomas, Vice Principals, Head Teachers, members of the faculty and staff, and my dear friends, a very good morning to my all gathered here. It is with immense pride and delight that I welcome you all to the 79th Independence Day celebration of our great nation. This is not merely a day of remembrance. It's a tribute to the sacrifices that brought us freedom and a reminder of our duty to preserve and honor it. Independence Day is not only a celebration of the past, but a promise for the future. We, the young citizens of India, are called to carry forward the dreams of those who fought with courage, vision, and deep love for the motherland. To begin with this significant occasion, I take great pleasure in welcoming our Director, Professor Matthew C. Nayak. Sir, your consistent efforts in nurturing excellence, your inspiring leadership, and your deep-rooted values have laid a strong foundation for this institution. We are truly honored to have you with us this morning. A warm and gracious welcome to you, sir. We are deeply privileged to welcome our Chief Guest, Colonel Prakash Chandra, a distinguished veteran of the Indian Army with a remarkable career spanning over 36 years. Let me introduce our Chief Guest to you all. An alumnus of the prestigious Sainik School, Amravati, Colonel Prakash Chandra was commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery in 1978 after completing his education at St. Joseph's College, Trichy. Throughout his career, he served in some of the most significant military operations in the country's history, including Operation Blue Star, Siachen deployments, and the IPKF mission in Sri Lanka. He also played a leading role in counter-insurgency operations across Jammu and Kashmir, Nagaland, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh. He received the Meritorious Award for Excellence in Security Operations. Colonel Prakash Chandra had key command positions in military intelligence and cross-border operations, demonstrating exceptional leadership in high-risk environments. Beyond his military service, he holds academic qualifications in remote sensing, law, and management, and is also known for his active engagement in sports and national security operations. Following his retirement from the Indian Army, he served as Director General Services at Manipal University and remains involved in meaningful social initiatives. Sir, it's a true honor to have you amidst us. On behalf of the entire Rivera family, I extend to you a warm and heartfelt welcome. I now invite Amit Kushal Indian of Class 8 to offer a floral welcome to our Chief Guest. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Abhay. I take this moment to warmly welcome our Deputy Director, Mrs. Lali A. Matthew, whose conscious support and wisdom continue to shape the spirit and strength of Little Rock. Welcome, dear Madam. Our Principal, Dr. John Thomas, is a man of thought and action. Sir, your leadership has helped foster not just academic excellence, but also a culture of integrity and compassion. We are glad to have you with us this morning. A sincere welcome to you, sir. A heartwarming welcome to our Vice Principals, Head Teachers and staff members who are the pillars of this institution.
Your hard work and dedication shape the future of every student here. Finally, finally, a word of welcome to my dear friends. As the young citizens of this proud nation, let us remember that freedom is not just the absence of control, but the presence of responsibility. Let this day awaken in us a sense of duty to serve, to care, and to lead. As we stand together to salute the tricolor and sing our national anthem, may we carry the values of liberty, unity, and peace in our hearts. I, Leah Karkada of Class 8, once again extend a joyous and warm welcome to one and all gathered here. Wishing you a very happy Independence Day. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah, for welcoming the gathering. The flag of our country, the tricolor, serves as a powerful emblem of national identity, culture, history, and pride. It reflects the country's values and aspirations. I request our principal, Dr. John Thomas, to escort our chief guest to the flag mast for the hoisting of the national flag, which will be followed by the national anthem. May I request the principal to escort the chief guest to the dais. Please be seated. Patriotic songs convey a deep affection for one's homeland, its people, and its culture. They often highlight the unique aspects of a nation, such as its history, tradition, and symbols. They foster a sense of shared identity and encourage students to feel proud of their nation. Let's now listen to the melodious voice of our school choir as they sing a patriotic song.
देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू, देश मेरे
patriotic fervor. It is an honor to have Colonel Prakash Chandra amidst us today. Sir, may I invite you to share your thoughts with us?
Respected Director Professor Nair, Madam Nair, Principal Mr. Solomon, teachers, staff, and my dear students, Jai Hind to all of you. I must admit that I have attended a lot of school functions as a chief guest. I attended a lot of Independence Republic Day functions. But to be very candid, the way the beginning it has been conducted is really very appreciable. The song sung by the Vande Mataram, Shubhra Josna Pulakita Yamini, Pulla Kusumita Sumadara Bhushan, Suhasana. The way it was rendered, it really sent goosebumps to me. And I must really compliment the music teacher and the students. And of course the patriotic song, a collage of various patriotic songs, was also very well, created and rendered beautifully. Once again, compliments. My dear students, I had come to know that this school, Little Rock School, had been awarded the best school for infrastructure which can be seen in Karnataka by the National Schools Award. And also, perusing your school brochure, I came to know of the excellent academic results of class 10 and 12, which only shows the quality of teaching and the dedication the teachers have in imparting the education. Highly commendable, really commendable. And I consider you students to be very lucky to be part of this great institution, and I deem it a great honor to address the students of this caliber. Today is our Independence Day. The 15th of August, 1947, we got the independence. This day is sacred for every Indian, whether at home, whether in the ground, whether as a student, whether he is abroad as an Indian, or is in the spacecraft. This day is a very, very sacred day. You know why? Because it has taken all the freedom fighters so many years of hard struggle and sacrifices to arrive at the independence, to liberate ourselves from the colonization of the British monarchy. You all must be knowing the genesis of the Independence Day celebrations. It all started in 1857, on 23rd of March, when a Sipahi of the British Army, Mangal Pandey, raised a slogan against the British and murdered 2 officers. He was executed, that's a different story. But then there was a flashpoint. 90 years after that, from 1857 to 1947, the series of struggles by various freedom fighters from different religions, different regions, and different strata of society continued. Some through non-violence, advocated by Mahatma Gandhi, some through a revolutionary measure, like Chandrasekhar Azad, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who said Swaraj is my birthright, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who raised the Indian National Army, and not to the least, 23-year-old martyr Bhagat Singh, who rode Inqilab Zindabad from the prison before he was executed. So this is how the freedom has been gained by us, we Indians. But unfortunately, the patriotism is reflected only during such occasions, whether it's the Independence Day, or Republic Day, or more so, cricket matches of national, international level. And at that time we say Vande Bharat. After that, we forget everything about what is India, we start cursing India. So my dear young blood, my dear students, kindly instill in you from the very initial, from the beginning, the sense of patriotism. It is our country, right or wrong, we shall always live up to the expectations and continue to see it develops further. There have been a lot of occasions where our country has been blemished by many people in, out of India. But remember, we are still an evolving country. Well, the last 3 decades has seen a lot of improvement. We have seen plenty of our own young blood as the CEOs of major firms across the US and all over the world. As an economic giant, we are leaping. We all know we are the 5th largest economy and bound to reach the 3rd largest economy very soon. But for a population of 1.4 billion, we require more success stories. This is not enough. And where do success stories come from? From you children. From you, I think children from 7 to 12 are here. So you will be the future youth of this country. When I say youth, what's a youth? Youth is something, a spark that needs no ignition. A clay that can be molded. And I'm sure in the great institution, I was going through the brochure, I found 11 institutional values. With this great values, I'm sure you're being molded into a useful citizen of India. I was discussing with Professor Nyman and Professor Nyman about the standard of education. You see, academic excellence is not the only part of the education. A student has to be molded to be an all-round student in various walks of life so that he is able to contribute to the society. That is what is the spirit of education. It is not that you just keep memorizing things rotting in your brain and not being used. It has to be put to use. Your Professor Brennan was aptly telling me that there so many coaching centers and other things. The aim is to just do an academic excellence, get into the medical or engineering colleges or whatever profession the child or the parent chooses. It is not so. You have to evolve as a very, very useful citizen. That's more important. So to you students, I like to say a few things. Firstly, mistakes. We all commit mistakes. Tell me who doesn't commit mistakes. If somebody says, sir, that fellow has not committed a mistake, that means he has done nothing. Mistakes are all part of life. Again, success and failure too is part of life. Life is not a bed of roses. It's a roller coaster journey where you come across a lot of tribulation, you come across a lot of problems. When you come across problems, don't wither away. Problems are not stop signs. They are only guidelines. Also, you come across obstacles. Obstacles doesn't mean that you have to just stand at it and go back. Like the famous basketballer Michael Jordan said, obstacles are meant to be negotiated. You either go over it, you go around it, or just cross over. But you have to get across the obstacle. That's very, very important in life. Also, you also may think that, let me quit. I think I'm tired of working. Let me tell you one thing. Success, like Jawaharlal Nehru, comes to those who are there and acted, seldom comes to timid. It's a statement, right? It's also said that the elevator to success is the hard work. Fine. Despite hard work, despite all your efforts, you don't succeed. So what happens? You quit? No. Let me tell you, the game of boxing, because I'm from the army and we have been in a military school and all. The result is declared only when you refuse to get up. You may be knocked a number of times, you get knocked down. So you get up, again start fighting. You are never a failure unless you fail to get up. The greatest glory lies not in failing, but in getting up every time you fall. Rome was not built in a day, your efforts will not go away. But then you must keep on working on it. You must do an auto-suggestion to yourself, yes, I am the master of my fate. I am the king of my soul. And I am the boss of my dreams. Dreams, yes, you must. As we emerge from the portals of the institution, somebody wanted to become an engineer, somebody wanted to become an advocate, somebody wanted to become an academician, somebody in different services. Your dreams may not come true. That doesn't mean you're a failure. Well, God has other plans for it. A crack doesn't mean you are broken. It only means you're still not fallen apart and you continue to endure still further. Something may be in store for you. As we emerge from the school, some could be lawyers, some could be, a military officer, some could be bureaucrats, and some could be even politicians. Now when I say politicians, you all must be smirking away. Politics, हम politics में क्यों जाना है? Our late President Abdul Kalam said that the young blood should endure into politics too. Because we require a nation that defines character, that defines ethos, that defines values. But only the young people can do it. I mean, talk about politicians, an actor comes to me. There was a young boy who was admitted in the hospital. So the father, the priest, goes and prays for it. Then the young child asks the father, Father, you are praying for all of us. He's such a nice person. When you see a politician, do you pray for him? The father looked into the child, looked about, and said, My dear child, when you see the politician, I pray for the country. That is to say, politics is so bad, but it is not so. Any frame of any act of any, this thing in life, any stage of life, we are taught, if you are a cobbler, be the best cobbler. If you are a sweeper, say, I am the best. Don't ever underestimate yourself. You must always have the hope and vision to further your views. While coming of hope, I said, don't give up hope. I wonder if you read a book called Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. It has come out as a movie also. There's a very famous line in that. The heroine, Scarlett, says, tomorrow is another day. So, if you fail today, it doesn't mean that's the end of the world. Tomorrow is another day. Keep striving at it. Keep working at it. They say, a man can live without food for 40 days, without water for 3 days, without oxygen for 8 minutes, but not a single second without hope. So hope is an important factor where you must always say, well, I can do it and I will do it. That's more important. You're all young children, you all heard of Swami Vivekananda being quoted every now and then. 2 centuries back he was, but still he is the modern youth icon of modern India. You all have heard this famous statement of Vivekananda's, awake, arise and sleep not till my goal is achieved, does not get into superstitions, all those things. He also advocated bodybuilding, sports, so that it keeps the mind fresh. So here I find you are giving a lot of importance to sports activities also to make your ordinary personality. In fact, Vivekananda advocated playing football in the football ground is more important than reading Gita. It's a very, it's a very strong metaphor. He didn't say the religion is bad. He said, instead of wasting time on that, try to be more active. Call of duty for karma. You cannot be passive. No inaction, you have to be action. This is what Vivekananda means. So Vivekananda was known by even R.M. Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore. He says, if you want to know India, read Vivekananda. I would suggest you children should read a lot of books on our past history, about all the great personalities. You must read letters of his sister Nivedita to Vivekananda and vice versa. You will find the values. You will come to know what India is from those letters. Reading was made as a very basic habit of his. And I will not be taking much of your time, but when we say freedom, it is not just liberation from the Britishers or enjoying yourself. No. Here I'd like to quote the famous lines of, you all must be knowing, Gitanjali, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. I only quote few lines. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into domestic, narrow walls by domestic, I don't remember the exact word, narrow domestic walls, into the land of freedom, or into the heaven of freedom. My Father, let me confirm. This is what freedom exactly is meant. So you have to create new India. In this world, you are seeing turmoil every day. Everywhere there is, the global scenario is something very different. Russia-Ukraine war, Israeli occupation of Gaza, You can't say occupation, it is a, whatever it is, Israeli-Palestine skirmishes. Recent Palgam attack in India, well, that proved our military might and how we as a great nation are militarily very superior. But all these things should not disturb you. You should not get into unwarranted discussions, debates, loose talks. Rather, from these we should be able to learn and evince information as to how better I can do for a better India. Before I end my speech, I'd like to quote again Swami Vivekananda. He said, give me 100 young men and women, I shall transform India. I believe in this school they have got 1,872 boys and equal number of girls. That means about 3,600 or 3,700 children. I'm sure with this educated, well-groomed, molded youth living the borders of the institution, I'm sure India will reach higher and much higher. It should fly high like our national flag. And remember, national flag flies not because of the wind, but because the sacrifices made by every breath of the Indian soldier or the martyr or even anybody who has contributed for the freedom of India. It waves because of that passion. So my dear children, thank you for being a part of this interaction. I wish you all the best, and may our tricolor keep flying, and may our nation go in leaps and bounds and become one of the most economically viable and militarily superior forefront organization, forefront nation in the world. Jai Hind, God bless.
Thank you, sir, for your impressive speech. It has inspired all of us to do great things. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul, said Henry Ward Beecher. Having had a celebration packed with a sense of patriotic fervor, there surely are a good number of people who deserve our gratitude. May I now request Muhammad Tasim Rashid of Class 9 to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning, honored dignitaries on the days and the August gathering. On this auspicious day, as we observe the 79th Independence Day, I, Muhammad Tasim Rashid of Class 9, deem a great honor and privilege to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you. At the outset, I take this opportunity to place on record a heartfelt thanks to esteemed Director Professor Matthew Senani for being with us and presiding over this special program. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Little Rock family, I express our gratitude to Colonel Prakash Chandra, the chief guest of the day, for hoisting the national flag and delivering an inspiring speech. I sincerely thank you, sir. As a token of our love and gratitude, I request Jyoti Lakshmi of Class 8 to hand over a memento to Colonel Prakash Chandra. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Jyoti Lakshmi. I'm immensely pleased to express my profound gratitude to our Deputy Director, Mrs. Lali Matthew, for her guidance and for her charming presence on the occasion. Hearty thanks to you, madam. My thanks are also due to our principal, Dr. John Service, who always guides and leads all our programs. Loving thanks to you, sir. I express my special thanks to the Vice Principals, Mr. Hari Krishna D and Mrs. Jessie Andrews, for their valuable suggestion and for coordinating everyone's effort to make this program a grand success. I would be failing in my duty if I don't express my gratitude to all the head teachers, academic coordinator, teachers and members of the staff. Thank you for your cooperation and support. I would like to thank each and every student for their wonderful participation and patient listening. Dear friends, on this great occasion, let us rededicate ourselves to all the noble values upheld by our freedom fighters. Once again, I wish you all a happy Independence Day. Let the spirit of freedom ignite our minds in the days ahead. Let us promise to build the future of this nation with passion in the heart, pride in the soul, and purpose in every step. Thank you everyone. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Carson, for the kind gesture. Now it is time for a Thanksgiving song by the school choir. Let's not forget the struggles and challenges faced by our ancestors in their fight against colonial rule. We must honor them by being responsible citizens and contributing to the progress of our nation. As students, we have a crucial role to play in building a strong and prosperous India. We must strive for excellence in our studies, respect our elders, and contribute to our communities. Let's also remember the values of unity, diversity, and peace that our nation stands for. Let the spirit of Independence Day fill our hearts with pride and patriotism. Let's pledge to work together to build a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come. Jai Hind. This is Yona Martina of Class 12 signing off. Now I request our principal to guide the dignitaries of the day.